Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Thomas Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing if boomers should be using VPN. I'm going to break down this video into two kind of segments. One, I'm going to be talking about why boomers should be using a VPN or if it can be advantageous for them. And I'm going to be discussing why they shouldn't use a VPN and why they probably don't need to use one or aren't going to use one. Firstly, guys, I think boomers could benefit from a VPN because boomers love sports and VPNs can be really useful for sports. It's becoming more popular now for people to migrate into the digital world and move away from cable boxes and these expensive plans. More people are watching sports via streaming and various other online methods instead of just through cable. A lot of boomers are kind of struggling with this, however, and there are a lot of times things that boomers have to deal with, like blackouts. So blackouts are when you're trying to watch your favorite sports station or something like that on TV, but since you're in a specific region, you can't watch a certain game when the game is out. You can actually bypass blackouts with VPNs. You could get access to games that aren't blacked out because you could change your region and convince the website or service that you're in a different location. Not only that, you can actually get cheaper prices for certain things. You can get access to stuff like NBA Game Pass for like $2 a month, $24 a year, and without VPN, without changing your region to something like India and getting it that way, it's going to be like $169 a year. So VPNs can definitely give you discounts on sports packages. It's going to be a little bit more work, but it could be useful for a boomer who isn't afraid to kind of get their hands dirty in the virtual world. I think VPNs could be a potential gateway drug into the world of online privacy, anonymity, and kind of online security overall. Now, VPNs themselves, I don't think are quite as important as some other things that boomers should take advantage of. Take, for example, having a really good password manager, a good antivirus on their computer, and more computer literacy overall. I think all these things are actually more important than a VPN for most boomers because most boomers have really bad passwords. They don't even use a password manager. They don't really know what antivirus is, or they just call Geek Squad to fix their computer. And overall, the computer literacy of boomers is not very good because a lot of boomers didn't really grow up with computers. They don't really like them. They don't really understand them. So a lot of times they end up misusing them. Sometimes they'll click on links in emails, give their computer a virus, and a VPN's not really going to protect you from that. But more computer literacy, more password managers, and good antivirus to protect against some of these downloaded things, I think would be a good step. And VPNs could push boomers towards getting these things and make them more aware about some of these things that they do need. Well, that's pretty much it, guys, in terms of what I could think of why boomers should use a VPN or if they could benefit from using one. Now let's talk about the cons. Well, I don't think boomers really need VPNs specifically because they're not torrenting or downloading stuff. A lot of people use VPNs specifically to torrent content. Depending on the legalities, you could argue that wherever you are in the world. But boomers don't really torrent or download stuff in order their primary means of watching media. Most boomers are going to be watching TV through cable still. They might be using Netflix and some of these other methods, but chances are they're not really going to be using VPNs to protect their anonymity while downloading content online. You could make the argument that boomers could benefit from using a VPN to bypass geo restrictions and unblock Netflix and stuff like that, like some people do to get more content. But honestly, I think that boomers are going to be more than satisfied with the amount of content that's in their region, and they're not really going to want to go through all the hassle to get a VPN just to get a little bit more content. I don't think they're really going to care that much. Brings me kind of like into my next point. I think VPNs are too much of a technological hassle for boomers, so I don't think they want to bother with it. VPNs themselves kind of have this, even the name sounds kind of scary, virtual private network. And while VPNs aren't actually that hard to use, you just go to a website, pay a subscription, download it, install it, connect. I don't think that a lot of boomers even really want to consider using one just because it sounds scary and it sounds like a hassle. Any additional technology can be annoying for a boomer. I think another thing is that boomers don't really want to pay for VPN. They don't really want to pay for another subscription. Boomers can inherently be kind of stingy and they don't really want to pay for more subscriptions. A lot of boomers have kind of a basic cable package or something like that, and they don't really ever want to change it. They don't really want to upgrade their internet, even though they could get a cheaper package. Boomers a lot of times just don't really want to change anything. So adding another subscription for something they might not need is not going to be appealing, I don't think. Lastly, I think probably the most important parts boomers don't really need a VPN or aren't going to use one is that they don't really care about privacy. I think a lot of boomers have really taken over Facebook and a lot of social media platforms that aren't very secure or private for privacy overall. A lot of boomers take information on the internet at face value, and they don't really understand why privacy is an issue. Because when boomers were growing up, there wasn't so much internet technology and stuff like this surveilling them in every aspect of their life. Now that they use it, they don't really make the connection, I don't think. Now, of course, some boomers are going to be aware of these privacy issues and stuff like that, but I think for the layman boomer, I don't know if they really care so much about privacy that they're going to want to go to the hassle of using a VPN to give themselves more privacy from their ISP, protect themselves from targeted ads, just get more anonymity and privacy in terms of protecting themselves from mass surveillance. I think a lot of boomers don't really understand how mass surveillance works, and they don't really understand even what a VPN could do for them. So I don't think they're going to use it or want to use one. Overall, I think pretty much everyone can benefit from using a VPN to protect themselves from mass surveillance and stuff like this. But I think having good password managers, good antivirus, and more computer literacy is probably more important for a boomer than a VPN at this point. That's just my opinion though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you again very soon.